don't know who that is our youth pastor out in Kearney. His name's Javen, all right? If you went to Fall Youth Convention, you got a chance to meet him. That was his wife, Elise, also. Pretty funny, and that's a little bit how their relationship actually goes, too. So, we're starting a new series, all right? It's called #Relationship Goals. So, our goal is just to, give you guys an idea of what God's plan for relationships for your life is. So, dating and relationships, stuff like that. That's what we're going to be talking about in February. So you don't want to miss any of the weeks. And this week is a special week because we get to hear from Logan and Chantel Elliot. Give it up for them. No PDA. Yeah, that's right. No PDA. But tonight we're having some real talk on dating and relationships and getting some insight from an awesome couple, right? Do you guys have anything to start out with?
I'm glad you think we're awesome.
Yes.
But before that, Pastor Robert, can I get a quick shout out to
You sure can.
I want to shout out to my homies, the squad, my herd, the Black Buffaloes. Thanks, guys. Anyway.
That's the most anticlimactic thing I've ever heard. You guys will catch on eventually, all right? You gotta rep. You gotta rep the Black Buffaloes. Well, let's just get this started before we get too far off track, all right? So, I got a crazy statistic to drop on you guys just to start off, all right? It's this, all right? 2% of high school sweethearts actually get married. That's crazy, all right? And we have an example of the 2% in our midst today, all right? Her name is Jane Dye. She married her high school sweetheart. All right? She's an example that it can happen, but also, that means that 98% of high school relationships don't last. So, be thinking about that when you make that your top priority. That's all I've got to say. But I'll ask you guys, were you guys high school sweethearts?
Yeah, we get that question quite a bit, actually, because we were from the same town originally, went to the same school, actually middle school and high school together. But no, we were not high school sweethearts. We talked a little bit in high school. I always thought she was pretty cute, but no, never pursued a relationship with her in high school.
Yeah, no, I think too, we were in two different worlds. We never really had anything like in common, so same for me. I always had a crush on William when I started dating him. It's a little bit but it was never, I thought he was famous, but no, it was never, in high school and everything, no, we never dated. We maybe hung out twice, I think, but it was only in like large groups, just like people and stuff.
Awesome. So, not high school sweethearts. So, do you guys haven't found the one? There's still hope. All right? There's still hope. Okay? So, another question I have for you guys. So, when you guys met and you guys decided to start dating, what was kind of the reason for dating? Like, what was the motive behind it? Was it just for fun? Was it to get married? Like, were you just like, oh yeah, I think he's cool, I'm gonna date Logan Elliot, he's an awesome guy. Like, what was the motive behind you guys dating?
Well, I did think he was pretty awesome before we started dating. But for me, my heart was definitely in a better place of like, dating wasn't just a hang out with a friend. It wasn't just to make another guy friend. It was dating was like, this is legit. I'm dating to marry somebody. This is the reason behind me learning more about who he is. That's me wants to put my own values and take this to the side.
Yeah, I was kind of at the same point in my life, junior year of college, and I made a promise to myself that, hey, this next relationship that I'm going to pursue, it's going to be for being with, I'm going to try to find my life, and that's the reason why I want to date at all, is to find a person who I'm happy in for being married.
Very cool. So, when we were talking beforehand, I kind of posed this question. You guys you didn't understand what this concept was because you guys called it something different. All right. When I was in high school, we called it flirt to convert. Was kind of a way people approach dating. But you guys, it was missionary dating. It's what you guys call it, right? So what would you say to those who have a flirt to convert or missionary dating? First off, Logan, could you explain what that means?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's basically like if you're Christian, you would date a non-Christian and have the goal of converting them to Christianity, right? So if you're a Christian guy and you date a non-Christian girl and you try to convert her, that's flirt to convert and/or missionary.
I want to add to that. It's not necessarily if you are a Christian and the other person isn't a Christian at all. They could even be a Christian, but they're not on the same plane as you are in your Christianity. I would say that still counts as a flirt to convert or missionary dating type of relationship.
Yeah, so what would you say to somebody who is kind of in that kind of relationship? Like, oh, I know they aren't they have their issues, but I mean, I'll be with them, so I can make them a lot better, right?
Yeah, you could say that, but I think 2 Corinthians lays some good scripture to that. So 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14 says, "Don't team up with those who are unbelievers. How can righteousness be a partner with wickedness? How can light live with darkness?" So basically, from that scripture, you can kind of see that they're almost two opposing forces, right? You have the end goal, which is to have a God-centered marriage, and that one person that's not their goal. You can't move forward at the same pace toward the goal that only one path.
I know that for me a situation with that is I had relationships that were kind of like that in the sense of they're not serious. I don't want to do it with them and then find out that they're interested. But to get to a point where things really changed for me, or I really wrote down my rules, I had to ask myself, do I want to raise my kids with me being the only one that wants to get married? Because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be the only person making sure that my children were in Jesus. I wanted that to be both of us. I wanted my little boys to know that their daddy loves Jesus and isn't ashamed of that. And I wanted my little girls to know that too. And I wanted them to know that about me. So for me, I had to get to a point, I got to a point where I questioned, do I want my children to be raised with only one parent making sure that they know Jesus?
Yeah, and I think one of the big dangers with that, teaming up with somebody, being in a relationship with somebody that isn't seeking after God, that isn't making that relationship a top priority, is more than likely that's going to start to rub off on you. Even though you might think that you're a really strong believer, more often than not what happens is they start to rub off on you instead of you starting to rub off on them. And the danger with that is you could completely decide to stop following God because you put this person before God. But I want to get into just some ways that dating went wrong for you guys, obviously before you guys met, because obviously you guys dating was successful. But I want to talk a little bit about what went dating gone wrong before you guys met. So just hear a little bit about that. But I wanna lay this part out with a verse from Proverbs 4:23. It says this: "Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life." So King Solomon, the wisest person ever lived, wrote this, and he said that you need to guard your heart because it determines the course of your life. What you let into your heart, into your life, determines how your life is going to how it's going to play out. So regarding dating before you two got together, did you ever have a problem of letting dating become like the center of your life, become that passion of your heart instead of Jesus?
Yeah. I had a serious relationship before Logan that lasted a couple of years. And this person was not a bad person. They were very well liked, very good at sports. They were really well known all over the state, truthfully. And I felt a little healed, that's what I thought. And I was at every single sport almost that I could be. They were long distance, but everything that I could be, I went to every, just so many decisions were made and based around this relationship. It 100% everything we did did it because it made this person happy. More so than what God was seeking from me.
Yeah, so then, Logan, what was a way when dating went wrong for you that you didn't guard your heart while dating?
Yeah, so I had a relationship in high school that was really unhealthy in the sense that we were very controlling of one another. It got to the point where I couldn't be certain people, she couldn't be certain people, I couldn't be certain people on social media, and so on and so forth. It just became really restrictive and just kind of a lot of friction in that relationship there. That's what I would say for and then also just so much time, spending a whole bunch of time together all the time in high school is how could I have a serious relationship? Before. Now I do.
So then, dating went wrong for you guys in this way, but then help us understand what were kind of the consequences of not guarding your heart. So Logan, with that controlling time.
Yeah, a lot of friction, a lot of fighting. It seemed like I was always at odds with her during those times where there's something stupid. Again, kind of going back to those, I couldn't talk to these people, she couldn't talk to these people. And it did cause a lot of just kind of being moody, angry, just, I don't know, it tore out a lot of really good friendships that I could have with some of the guys. And since then, we're kind of we're good friends now, but for a while there, it did cause a big rift between myself and about 3 of my really good high school buddies. So.
Yeah, for me, the consequences of toxic relationship like that, consequences that is like, there's some life decisions, because when I was dating this person, he was still, he was really just, graduated, I was older, so I was in college, so literally life decisions, like, scaling in my heart, were made based off of this relationship. Decisions to not even leave on my parents' house on that, when I was old enough to do so and such. And decisions, the consequences too, is the hold that he had on my heart, which led me to making, again, his value of me and his opinion of me worth more than anybody else's and worth way more than that. Which led me to things that he wanted that deep down I didn't want to give, and made me really scared, but if I didn't give it, then was he going to love me anymore? And then if he wasn't going to love me anymore, what was I going to do? Because, oh my gosh, this is my only part of the world. What would I do if I had a weekend that I didn't travel to party, And boundaries were crossed. Boundaries that, to this day, I wish 100% never crossed. Never, ever. Because they shouldn't be there. And there's so many consequences of like things that I definitely had to work through, that it really did put me in work for a while.
dating gone wrong, okay? Dating gone wrong. There you go, an example of how dating can go wrong. But thankfully, we aren't going to end on a note like that, all right? Because obviously, their relationship worked out. So they figured out how dating is done right. So to lay out this area, kind of a scripture to help us understand maybe a little bit of how things worked out for you guys would be Romans 12:2. It says, don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world. Don't follow the world's pattern for dating and things like that. But let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Don't think about dating in the way that maybe your peers, the people that are the same age as you, the people that maybe don't have a relationship with God, don't think about dating the same way that they do, but let God transform the way you think about dating. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. So that kind of frames it up for us about dating done right. So what was the turning point for both of you guys from unhealthy dating to God-centered dating?
Yeah, absolutely. The turning point for me was my junior year of college. I was down in Kansas and I met a group of Christians. It was called One Life College, which is a Christian campus ministry. And that's where I really dug into my faith. Because before, I claimed to be a Christian, but I never really dug into my faith. And this is the group in which it really allowed me to do that in a different way. And so being amongst this Christian group is something I would suggest, and not for everybody else when you go out to school or college is the path for you. Find those campus Christian ministries and get started in that. It'll change your life. But anyway, I did that, and then I also took a break from it. A whole year. And I was like, no girls, no texting girls, no calling girls, no nothing, right? I was just going to work on my relationship with Christ. And that's where it really changed for me. That was definitely a thing. It's been a year ago. And just growing in Christ.
Yeah, mine was the same. I feel after that relationship took a while before ever dating, before ever meeting, and I just dug in. So I got connected into life group. I was serving in multiple ministries, working with a lot of and I went every single event. But yeah, it just took a long break from anything boys for a while. It was good.
Now, when you guys say a long break, like that's kind of open-ended, like that's open to interpretation. What are you guys talking about when you say a long break? Is it like a month? Are you like, I'm fasting dating for 30 days, not going to date? Like what kind of time frame are we talking about?
For me, it was about a year, I think.
I think a year is about that. You may think, 3 months, I'll be fine. No. Especially if you just got a relationship that's been a long time, you don't realize how connected or how reliant you are on that person until you spend more than 3 to 6, 8 months apart. And start to realize, I'm kind of different about it. You can focus on that.
Yeah, and when we talked before, you guys, it wasn't like you're just like, I'm gonna stop dating for a while. There was a purpose behind it. And you guys said that it was kind of to work on yourself and your relationship with God and kind of figuring out who you were, not getting your identity from someone else, but getting it from God and growing. So what kind of things were you doing during this break to grow yourself?
Yeah, definitely, diving headfirst into Scripture, having that quiet time in the morning, about 30, 40 minutes before class, get up, read the Bible, talk to God, and it just sets you right for the rest of the day. That was one thing, and also another thing was being vulnerable with other men. I had a men's group, a small group of guys that you just feel really close to and connected with, and you can share anything, especially your losses, your pain, your struggle, and allow them to speak God's truth into your life as well. And then third, again, kind of going back to analyzing Scripture, but just understanding that, God loves you more than anybody else can. He's got that ability. Not only that, but it's perfect love. No matter who you marry, it's not going to be perfect, right? You're going to marry someone who's Can it be a great marriage? Absolutely. But that love can never define you the way God's love does.
That's good.
Yeah, for me, it was, it was all the same things that you said, but I'm going to add also just really digging into prayer and then digging in one-on-one with one very specific person. For me, that was Tiffany, so that's who he is like, Tiffany. She and I would have a lot of heart-to-hearts about just working through the past pain, but then also working towards what it is I was looking for, and what it is that God desired for my own heart and my own relationship. So, one thing that she did that was huge was she gave me a ring. I actually wore it tonight. And it's actually 3 rings, but I wear it as one, and I will wear it as one. And she said she wanted me to sit down and to really pray over these 3 rings. And what I was praying for was what were the very specific desires that God placed on my heart for my future spouse. So because with that, these desires that God is placing on my heart, He's going to give me, because He's the one who's giving me the desires. So He's going to find somebody for me that matches those. And then while I was going through, I started digging again a little bit. While I was going through that, if this person did not match up with these 3 rings, that person was not it. I already had it set what God desired for my own heart. And it met it. And it was amazing. It was beautiful. And that itself then determines, okay, does this person fit or does this person not fit? And I think that goes back to the dating for marriage too. It speaks very directly to that. I wasn't just dating just to have another friend or hang out all the time or whatnot. But that was just simple. But yeah, and then learning also not only to search for that person, but to look at my own heart and to look at my own life and try to become that person too. Because if I want these attributes in somebody that I'm going to marry, I really well better line up with them myself, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's awesome. You had a mentor in your life that was married, that you'd probably say was a good model of what a healthy relationship looks like. So Logan, help us wrap up our time right now. Did you have a mentor in your life during this time, and what would you suggest these students who are listening to you now, explain to them what a good kind of mentor in their life would look like?
Yeah, well, if you're looking for a mentorship for dating or marriage, the first thing you gotta look for in a mentor is, do they love God more than they love their spouse? Right? And if that is true, watch them. How do they talk to each other? How do they clean up the house together? How do they fight with each other? Argue with each other, right? I had a couple, married couple that were in their 30s, about 5 6 years difference there, but they were my mentor couple. It was interesting. They always had us over for a small group and things. I would just watch them communicate. And it could be something as simple as just sitting on the couch together and listening to talk, but it's just those things. Keep your eyes open, listen, and ask those mentors the questions. If you're a girl, ask the wife. If you're a boy, ask the husband. Hey, how did you deal with this? Why did you deal with this? Why did you respond like this? Just have questions and they'll teach you. But the first thing is make sure that they love God and love their spouse.
Yeah, so what great advice. And I'd suggest if you guys are in a dating relationship, let's take a little survey. How many of you guys are dating someone right now? Loud and proud, raise your hand, all right? So, I see you guys' hands, all right? That's going to go downhill if you do not have somebody in your life that is a mentor It's going to help you have a healthy relationship because, let's be honest, when I was in junior high, when I was in high school, I was not mature enough to understand, healthy dating. Healthy dating, all right? You need someone in your life that's going to keep you accountable, that's going to be there, that's going to be someone to help model what a healthy relationship looks like and to maybe call you out if your relationship isn't healthy because it's out of love, because they care about you and they don't want you guys to walk down a path that you'll regret later. And we'll talk some more about that next week, but be thinking about that if you're in a dating relationship. Your squad leaders are a great place to start. So, let's give it up for Chantel and Logan, all right?